Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of LLG's Random But Real, where we have conversations about any and all things random with an entree, not a side dish, of mental health advocacy. I use my performance, communication, and literary art skills to bring awareness about mental health and other topics. Therefore, whether I'm singing, speaking, writing, it is my desire that my words will be melodic, just like music to your ears. And you know that the comments that are made by myself and Erica, or any of the artists or hosts or guests that are on this podcast, are of our own and they're not intended for professional guidance. If you do need professional guidance or you're experiencing trauma or any type of mental health issues or concerns, we ask you, if you need to, call 911 or seek a therapist, psychologist, counselor, social worker, etc. If you need a referral, then just send us a message and I will greatly or be glad to give you some referrals of some of the phenomenal therapists that I know out there. All right. How you doing today, Erica?
I'm well. I'm well.
She's
It's
so
not.
patient with me, y'all. So patient. And I appreciate it. We're not going to be out here long. Just want to talk about some things. Today's topic is called New Year, New Things. And I just wanted to know, first of all, do you believe in New Year's resolutions and do you make them?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a person of beginnings. If that makes any sense to
Mm.
you, I like the
Okay.
beginning of the month, the beginning of the week, the beginning of the year.
You like
So,
Mondays or Sundays?
well, I
Sundays
consider
and Mondays?
Sunday. I consider so. For example, if I'm
Okay.
going to start something new, I would rather start it on a Sunday than a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
Okay.
Like I need to start at the beginning of the week, or
Hmm.
if the first of the month is my target, no matter what day it is, but it's the first of the month, I'll do that. So for me, the new year is a new opportunity. So yes, I do like New Year's resolutions just because you can do something new at any time. But that's just a new time for me to say, okay, this is my goal or this is what I'm going to work on. um, I don't necessarily do something in January that I'm still doing in April, May, June, July. Like it might not last that long, but just
Okay.
to use that as a marker for something new. I like it. How about you? You like New Year's
Um,
resolutions? You make them?
I have in the past. I
Mhm.
don't necessarily do them now
Okay.
because if it's a resolution, that is something that you stick to. It is
Mhm.
something that, in my opinion, that lasts. It
Mhm.
doesn't just, it's not just temporary. And, a lot of people use like lose weight
Mhm.
as their goal. But I'm always trying to do that. So
Yeah.
it's not just a New Year's resolution. But I mean, I understand the importance of them. I think that they're great guidance tools, I guess you would say.
Mhm.
But I'm always checking myself anyway. And so like at the end of the year, I'm checking myself, seeing what I need to improve upon, what I need to do to become better or do better in the next year so that I can have those new things. And new things doesn't necessarily mean monetary or a tangible thing, but really like focusing on me and, not making the same choices or decisions um, you know, knowing like this year, for me, um, soon, prayerfully, I will be having surgery, which I've talked about. And I will talk about it more. We're definitely going to get into it because it affects so many people. But, I'm excited about the newness that's going to come after the healing
Yeah.
from the surgery because
Mhm.
I've had to endure so much, some pain and other symptoms for such a long time. And I'm praying that my numbers will be good enough to move forward because it has been a long road to get here. So things like that, that type of newness, I definitely celebrate. And I'm willing to, talk about or write about. Like there's some things
Mhm.
I want to do when I don't have to do other stuff because of it.
Yeah.
So, and that, yes, I guess I do have some resolutions. Um, but if I don't, I'm okay too. If I meaning not the surgery, but if I don't have any specific resolutions, I'm still okay.
Yeah. So you made reference to the numbers. If the numbers are good, you'll have the surgery. And
Mhm.
you might not have noticed, but I did one of these numbers. So I recently had some blood work done, and the numbers were not good.
Oh, I'm
After having
sorry.
been good for so many years, the numbers were not good. So I have to start now making a change and a difference. But with the new year, like that's going to be very impactful for me,
Mhm.
because I have to do a reset. I mean, obviously, right? So I just said that necessarily a resolution doesn't go through the whole year for me because life be lifing
Mhm.
and things happen. But for the past, since COVID, I was on a very, very steady routine of
Mhm.
walking through all kinds of weather. My neighbors have seen me in the hot and the cold. They see me in the sun and the rain and the sleet, you know. Um, and that's not typically who I was. That now that I'm natural, I'm not worried about my hair. I hate the cold, but I'm also in the change of life, so I don't get as cold as I used to. And so I was very, very consistent with walking regularly, even during the winter months when there's not as much daylight.
Mhm.
I guess in the past year, something changed and I haven't been able to get out there like that, but I have to reset. So in this new year, prayerfully, even before the new year kicks in, but certainly in the new year, I've got to get back on that. Like, I have to be that person who's out there 5 to 7 days a week. I don't want no gaps. And I could do something indoors, but I just truly enjoy being out in the fresh air. I walk for about an hour and a half within my neighborhood, and it's just a time to commune with God, listen to some praise and worship. So, yeah, the new year got to see a new me
Yeah.
because when I go back to do this blood work, I can't have no problems.
No, I totally understand. I mean, like I'm low key scared. I am not gonna lie, because I didn't start off doing what I should have done. So by the time I found out that I was gonna have to wait 3 more months
Mhm.
for it, I was just like, so far numbers have been okay. Like I tested midday, no, actually the end of the day, and I just had a ginger mango whatchamacall, which I was like, I probably should have tested before I had that, but it was only 122, which is still not that bad off. But we'll see. That's all. It was 90 something this morning, so those are still good numbers. Um, you want it under 140 after eating, 2 hours after eating, and so I'm still hitting my numbers. But
Yeah. So the
I
numbers
just
I'm referencing are just A1C numbers. I
right,
don't
that's what I'm
track
talking
anything
about. Oh, just but see, I test daily, so
Yeah,
my
yeah.
A1C, yeah. But no, I totally understand. But the way you get those numbers, or to be able to see, is by being able to test
Mhm.
daily. And so if you're having 140 or under, that's usually, good after 2 hours. When you wake up in the morning, you want it to be under 120. And
Okay.
so it's because I test daily that I'm able to kind of monitor that. But I was having some 138s and I had some 175s in the beginning.
Mhm.
But I guess because at one point I had 300 and 400 fasting blood sugars, which meant I could have had a stroke or
Yeah.
worse. And that was years ago. But and I don't exercise as much. Me too. I was doing well, like at least 5 times, 4 to 5 times a week. Today I did walk. We have, indoors. I'm not an outdoors person. I prefer indoors. It's just that I'm always busy doing
Mhm.
something at work that I don't have the time. But I wore tennis shoes today. Y'all can see I'm dressed down in my Stigma Breakers gear. Y'all got to shout out my Stigma Breakers. So I don't know if y'all can see. It's
Yeah.
backwards, but it says,
I'm a
I'm a
stigma
Stigma
breaker
Breaker. Are
for
you?
you.
And so yeah, you can go to my website if you want to be a stigma breaker too, and cop the items. But and that's www.lisalgilliam.com. Shameless plug. However, I was like, I'm just gonna dress down today. This is how I
Mhm.
feel. I'm a chill. Um, and that's what I did. But yeah, I do believe that um everything's gonna work out the way it's supposed to. And I guess another, if I want to say resolution, is to Oh, these relationships with these
Mm,
men.
mm,
I just want to be even more focused. Like
mhm.
I have definitely, changed some things and am not just interested in wasting my time. Not that I was interested before wasting my time, but I
Right.
was thinking about somebody I dated last year and I was like, wow,
Mhm.
like what was the point?
Yeah.
Um and I've been on this, I'm not dating just to date thing for a while, but sometimes loneliness kicks in. The
Mm,
holidays aren't the greatest for me, because of being lonely and just not having a lot of my family. And so sometimes I'm excited because the new year is here,
yeah.
And then for those who don't know, we do pre-record this. And so sometimes I'll be speaking in the past and sometimes I'm speaking in the present, but that's just because I forget. But just ready for a new start in that sense.
Yeah.
And January definitely brings that. So
And so, even though I'm not single, I've shared that I'm married.
mhm,
Been married for 26 years, together for 30. Um, Even at this point in a relationship, people talk all the time about, being empty nesters, and I'm at that place in life where all of my children are young adults. My youngest is 19. Still have two in college, so I don't anticipate them being out of the house per se. And number two, he just graduated, so I don't anticipate him being on his way. But I'm at that point in life where, yes, my young people are preparing to move on and be their own young people, right? Um, but I am a person who love motherhood and not really excited about being an empty nester. I just like having my children around and knowing that they might be moving on, literally moving away. That could happen. I'm
mhm,
not like excited about that. So for me, I think a New Year's perspective is okay, you're not a young mother anymore. You're an older mother. And what does that look like for you? So I think I need to start getting back to, you know,
you-
me,
mhm,
right? Me and, my relationship outside of being a mother.
mhm,
Because I've been a mother for 28 years, over half my life. Over half my life at this point. I have been a parent and a parent of multiple children. So, it's time to, start learning myself again and learning myself without having to take care of children. So I think if I were to have to consider a New Year's resolution as well, aside from taking care of myself health wise, it
mhm.
would just be learning
Self
to
care.
relax. Yes, definitely a form of self care. I'm saying learning to relax because for me, parenting wasn't always relaxing. It's very stressful taking care of young people, trying to make sure they're good, doing for them. Um, but yeah, so I would say that though, for anyone listening, wherever we are in life, we have to reevaluate. Maybe life is going great. I'm not saying reevaluating is because things are bad or wrong, but we're
Mhm.
in different stages. And so we have to reevaluate, where am I now? What are my needs now? Because my needs may not be the same this year from just last year,
Mhm. Even from month to month,
month to month.
December to
So,
January, a lot of things could happen in that short period of time, right?
yeah. Yeah, so that would be my encouragement for all of us, listening is, yeah, thinking about where are you and where do you need to be and what do you need to do? What do you need to let go of? What do you need to pick up? What do you need to gain? Like, there's a lot of opportunities there. And
Mhm.
that's what I love about newness. So again, me just being a person of beginnings, the new year is a chance to have kind of just that newness.
Understood. Understood. I don't know. I guess I am going to take like I've had a lot of opportunities.
Hmm.
I still got to figure out what's going to happen with my job. It might be a new job in the new year. It might be,
Yeah.
although I love what I do, um, I've shared with you. I'll just say in 20 what's this? 2024, I had a scholar that was murdered, and it definitely affected me um, in ways that I didn't expect. Because this is
Mm-hmm.
not the first scholar I've had that's been murdered or killed, nor is it the first one that had I've had. We just had a lot of different situations at
Yeah.
my program, and so um, I don't know how much longer I want to be around that type of sadness. I remember when I did Mobile Crisis, um, I remember the interview and I was just like, she was like, sometimes you got to go, you'll be, around dead persons and you'll have to, be there with the family and be able to process through that and help the family, blah, blah. And I was like, do I have to step over dead people? She was like, yeah, you might. I wasn't expecting that answer.
Yeah, I don't think I
And
would have expected
I
that.
did. There were times where,
Mm-hmm.
and if you know anything about the human body, when you're dying or in that process, sometimes you lose ability to. So it could be feces, it could be urine, it could be. I remember spraying my shoes, the bottom of my shoes, before I would go into the house. I would take them off and spray them with Lysol, wash them, spray them with Lysol because I didn't want to track that all into my place or whatever. Because we had to step it over things and
Yeah.
call. You know, or be there to call or help them with the nursing home and arrangements and or whether it was a hit and run or even if they didn't run but they hit somebody walking hit a pedestrian, and so it was a lot of different types of mobile crisis situations. Some were just someone having a break, needing mental health like
Mm-hmm.
therapy then or whatever, or having to take them to the hospital and stuff like that. And then there were the other times where, those other situations happen. And so it really, I did it for a year. Well, 11 months was almost a year. I wanted to go see my grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
my dad's mother. And this is an aside, she ended up dying the next month. So I'm glad that I did stop that job. I got another one and I was able to go spend some time with her just the weekend. That was the last time I actually heard her speak, I think, when I came back from the trip, and then she wasn't
Mm-hmm.
able really to be coherent most of the time. But I say all this to say, I still one of my favorite scriptures is Romans 8:28. All things work
All
together
things
for
put
good
together
to them that
together
love the Lord, to
love the
them who
Lord
are called according to His
according to his
purpose.
purpose.
And
Yes.
so I believe whatever resolution there is, whatever whatever's next, whether it's church, whether it's school, whether it's state with this upcoming presidential.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, in this new year, we're having an administration change that,
Absolutely.
depending on the career you're in, will
Could affect
evoke
you.
some changes. Our
Mhm,
career, um,
mhm.
there will be changes. People want to
Absolutely.
get rid of a whole department that kind of governs the work that we do,
Absolutely.
right? And then people in the federal government,
Mhm.
a lot of those positions are going to be eliminated just because people in the current administration don't like the work that they're doing or don't value the work that they're doing. And they're going to cut departments and people. So the new year is going to bring about a lot,
A lot of new things, good
whether we
and
plan
bad.
it or not, right?
Absolutely.
So, how do we go through it? How do we?
We trust God.
We definitely trust God, right?
I mean,
Uh,
I've said to people like more than ever before, God is sovereign. If He allowed it, it's a reason for it.
mhm,
I'm not afraid or scared. I can't really explain it. I have a peace.
mhm,
Whether well, I'll just say it was not what I wanted.
mhm,
However, I trust God and
mhm.
I'm really, really trusting Him, even though I don't understand that. Maybe if I said the biggest resolution for me would be that to know that this still going to work out for my good,
Mhm.
whatever it is. God can use anybody, you know what I'm saying, to be your footstool.
Yeah.
And maybe it's going to elevate some people that didn't think they would be in a place of elevation. I think about Joseph, what I mean, in the Bible and
Mhm.
his, the ability to decipher dreams. I think about, just so many things that
Yeah.
God can do.
Absolutely. We talked about it a lot in my church. We prayed about it. I'm on a prayer line. Used to be a Tuesday night prayer line. Currently, it's a Thursday night prayer line. We prayed over it. We talked about a lot of things. And one of the conclusions that we came to is that everything that happens, God is aware, right? And some things are his will, meaning this is the way he wants it to go. And some things he allows. It doesn't mean that it was the way he would have wanted it, but because we insist on our own way so much, and you see that in the Bible, in
Mhm.
Kings, right? The books of First Kings and Second Kings. Some kings were great kings, and some kings were not great kings, but God allowed them. He allowed them because the people insisted and wanted, and so he let them get what they said they wanted. It didn't work out well for them,
Yeah, and lessons were definitely learned through
and
the
lessons.
process. Well, hopefully
Yeah,
some lessons were learned.
yeah.
But yeah,
So yeah, so we have to move forward. It is what it is, but it might be an opportunity to do some sort of resetting. It might be
mhm.
an opportunity to step out of comfort zones or just whatever, right?
To
Um,
have a closer relationship with God and trust
absolutely,
him even more.
absolutely.
Because I
Listen,
don't see how four
Second
years of this
Chronicles
again.
7:14 says,
If
"If
my
my
people.
people who are called by my name would humble themselves, pray, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sins and heal their
Yep.
land." So yes, this is an opportunity, for many to be like, you know what, God, my bad. Okay, I hear you, Jesus,
Yeah.
right? So newness. I'm all for the newness.
New things. And
Sometimes
we
we
wish
need it.
you all new things too. Those
Yeah.
of you who are listening, whatever it is that you have, maybe just be encouraged that it's not too late for new. I want to be settled. And then sometimes I'm like, I don't want to be settled. I want my home, my new place of living. And then I'm just like, I don't want to be, paying it off when I'm 80 something. But
Mhm.
even with that, I could, it takes one song, one book, whatever. God may allow that to allow me to be wealthy and then I'm able to pay it off early. So just don't close yourself off in
Right.
2025. Just be open to whatever God has for you, accept what God allows. And I didn't mean to cut you off earlier. You were saying something.
No, you listen, 2025. How did we get here?
I don't know. You remember when we were doing the Y2K? Like
Oh
everybody
yeah.
was like trying to figure out what it's gonna be like when we go to
I was
2000s.
in church like, I don't know what's about to happen because it's Y2K.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm thankful for another year of life.
Amen.
Another year, another, you know, just another decade for some things, another month. So yep,
Absolutely.
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 There's anything you want to say before we close out?
Just embrace it. If I had to think of a phrase, I would say embrace it, right? That's what I'm doing. That's what I find myself doing, right? Um, I don't know what it's going to be, but I know I have to embrace it. And sometimes embracing can include putting in some work to make it different. I'm not saying you have to accept just any and everything, but you have to embrace it and move with it and change what you can change.
Yeah. Sometimes easier said than done, but we got this because,
Absolutely.
great is he that's in us than he that's in the
It's
world.
the world. Amen.
So I'm gonna trust them. I can't do nothing else but like even if I didn't always before, like you got it, God. 'Cause this
Yeah.
don't make any sense to
Yeah.
me.
I see what was the meme? Something along the lines of, I feel like I'm in a episode and the producers are just doing anything at this point. Like that's my life, right? Like I couldn't have predicted this. I didn't know how these things was gonna pan out and play out the way they are. I'm just showing up every day, collecting a paycheck.
Well, that's half the battle. Showing up.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So y'all, let's connect. We want, follow me on social media at One Senior Lady, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X. Um, yep, I'm still on X, and I know a lot of people have, their own thing with that. But what I've learned is that, you know, seeking and saving the lost, being called to the office of evangelist, whether I'm actually walking in it all the time or partially, I still am called to do certain things. And so every opportunity that I have to do that, I'm going to try to do that. Or you can stream my music and spoken word. You can go to my website, lisalgilliam.com. If you go, actually this week, you can buy Tracy and my book on sale. It's a holiday sale. And so you can follow me or go to my website and go to the Inground Spark link, and it'll be on sale there. And also, like I said, listen to our podcast on Amazon, Apple, iHeartRadio, Podvine, Spotify, and YouTube. We do need to gear up to do a live one day when I can get off of work on time. That's what I want for the new year too. But yep. So we hope that you will, check us out, listen to us. Please like, share, subscribe. It does help us, to reach other people. And we will be talking about some more serious issues in 2025 as well. So just stay tuned. We thank you for joining us. Thank you, Erica, for being.
Thank you, Lisa.
All right. One seeing lady out.
Erica out.